The MV Rachel Corrie is on her way. The Rachel Corrie is 150 miles away from Gaza, in international waters. She is on her way. They will arrive on Saturday morning. The 1,200-ton cargo ship is the last ship from the Freedom Flotilla and is loaded with construction materials, 20 tons of paper, and many other supplies that Israel refuses to allow into the imprisoned people of Gaza. Some of the high-profile people on board are Mairead Maguire from Belfast, Ireland. She is a co-founder of Peace People Northern Ireland and was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1976. Mairead went on the maiden voyage of Dignity in October 2008, the second successful voyage for the Free Gaza movement. She was also on board Spirit of Humanity when Israel hijacked the boat in international waters, taking all 21 humanitarian passengers to Israel, where they were arrested, detained for a week in an Israeli prison and then deported. Dennis Halliday from Ireland, a UN Assistant Secretary General from 1994 to 1998. He was head of the humanitarian program in Iraq to support the Iraqi people struggling under the genocidal impact of UN sanctions. Matthias Chang Wen-Chie is a Malaysian of Chinese descent. He is a barrister of 32 years standing and once served as the political secretary to the fourth Prime Minister of Malaysia, Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. Mud Nizar bin Zakaria is a member of the Malaysian Parliament. In addition, there is a 3-member camera crew on board from Malaysia TV3 and journalist Shamsul Akmar bin Musa Kamal. The passengers on board the ship have stated, "Communication is difficult and sometimes impossible, and there are many rumors out there started by the Israeli authorities. But there is no way we are going to Ashdod. We are, for sure, on our way to Gaza."
Of course, they feel mocked. And something else that the Gaza Community Mental Health Project talks about is that one of the solutions to massive depression in Gaza, we're talking, 90% of people living in what Western medicine would call post-traumatic stress disorder. Well, there isn't any post to the stress or the trauma. There is no end to it. You cannot recover because you're continuously under attack, whether it's physically being bombarded or through mental torment through the cannibal sound bombs, or the fact that you're under a collectively punishing siege, so you don't have enough to eat and you don't have enough electricity or clean water, etc. Entire neighborhoods have been crushed to the ground. They've been leveled to the ground. It is about ridding the Palestinian land of the Palestinian people, drip by drip, body by body, person by person, village by village. Farmers are getting shot at. They're getting shot at on a daily basis by Israeli soldiers when they're picking parsley, bagdunes, or adis, lentils. They're picking very basic food. So people are risking their lives literally just to pick parsley, and the result is actually they're not really doing this anymore. In some areas, farmers have completely withdrawn from their land. So again, you can see that Israel is effectively taking land in Gaza. It's a land grab, because if you can't farm your land and if you can't live in it, because people are being shot at when they're trying to get back to the ruins of their homes in Beit Hanun, in Khuza'a, it means they're not living there anymore. 40,000 people rely on the fishing industry in Gaza, and it doesn't exist anymore, basically. Fishermen can't go out in their trawlers, they're forced to go out in hasakas, which are these very small fishing boats, and even then the Israeli Navy is shooting at them and is coming 100 meters from the shore of Gaza and kidnapping fishermen, young and old. Israel is creating another buffer zone in the sea, and it's constricting Gaza and it's constricting that industry. And when you think about the siege and the lack of the very high levels of malnutrition and anemia, we're talking over 50% of women have anemia in Gaza. Fish is a really important part of the Palestinian diet. International Solidarity Movement activists were accompanying fishermen in October of last year. They were able to get to some of the best catches, and the price of fish went right down in Gaza, so families were able to feed themselves better. Many people, they see Gaza as a humanitarian crisis, that people are living in terrible poverty and you just need to keep pumping in aid. And Gaza does survive on a drip feed of aid, but it is a pathological system and it's a pathological process. And Gaza has become pathologized. Palestine has become pathologized. It's getting bombed and it's getting rebuilt and then bombed again. And the international community is not taking the steps that it needs to take, the radical steps or the right steps. It's just about abiding by international law to stop this bombing and building cycle of injustice. Free Gaza, for those of you who don't know, is a movement that began not from a bunch of experts, not from people with sailing experience or shipping experience. It was set up by activists who had experience of solidarity activism in the West Bank, primarily, and they wanted to break the siege of Gaza. And so Free Gaza really started as an idea, how to do this. We couldn't do it by land. We couldn't get in through Ma'abar al-Beit Hanun checkpoint, also known as Erez checkpoint, or Rafah. So the sea was the only route that could be taken.